Hello everyone, today I will be going over chapters 3, 4, and 5 of the book Reinventing Project-Based Learning by Susie Boss and Jane Krause. Chapter 3 will guide readers to connect the big ideas of your curriculum to project opportunities, consider how you will help students develop digital age literacies and become computational thinkers, and anticipate the 6 essential learning functions that unfold across the arc of a project and consider technology tools to support them. It focuses on establishing the conceptual framework of a project. Good projects get to the heart of the discipline. The more complex and important an idea, the better suited it is for the project treatment. Identifying the big ideas at the heart of the subject we teach is the first step of project learning. While textbooks are leaving behind big ideas, projects are highly contextual. Good projects connect directly to students' frames of references, interests, and experiences. What is most important? The big ideas teachers use are for students to apply and analyze information and not just recall facts. This shift reflects the preparation that students need as they head into college, careers, and active citizenship. One way to help create big ideas is to create wikis. A wiki is a simple tool to manage a website that allows users to assess and edit content collectively and online from any computer with internet connection. It is useful for planning and managing projects, whether you work alone or collaborate locally or at a distance. What is the big idea? The Lanyard Cluster includes several schools that emphasize project-based learning and STEM. Their goal is to ensure that students are prepared to take full advantage of the real-world learning opportunities that await. You first need to start with the foundation by alternating between project-based learning and more traditional units. The teachers within this cluster emphasize inquiry and use the workshop models for reading, math, and writing. When the students grow into middle school, students continue developing their college and career-ready skills in an interdisciplinary program called TWIST, Teamwork with Innovative Skills and Technology. TWIST projects include a combination of language arts, science, social studies, and math, all focused on an authentic purpose. Once students enter high school, they can choose from 4 academies, each with a different career focus. Freshmen get coaching on the process of doing projects and gain an introduction to a variety of technological tools. Sophomores go deeper into their interests such as coding, engineering, or film production. Juniors tackle 1-year-long capstone projects such as producing a documentary film, programming a vehicle, or launching a community service initiative. Seniors have the freedom to leave campus for internships or dual enrollment programs to start earning college credit. Planning for rigor and digital age skills. A well-designed project causes students to stretch their minds in ways that traditional learning activities may not. One technique is to plan learning actions associated with the higher order category of Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. The objectives in order from a more typical instructional fare to the realm of projects are remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Digital age literacies, a synthesis. Anytime you ask students to collaborate and create, you are likely touching on digital age skills. Literacy involves a continuum of learning to enable an individual to achieve his or her goals, to develop his or her knowledge and potential, and to participate fully in the wider society. Growing up in an age when technology underpins practically every aspect of their lives, students are primed to become computational thinkers, people who imagine ways to solve problems with apps, robotics, simulations, network systems, digital arts, and other expressions of computer science. These digital solutions can fit naturally into project-based learning to help students become adept computational thinkers. To build interest in computing beyond class projects, Direct your students to many informal learning opportunities available to them. Learning dispositions. Learning encompasses understanding, skills, and learning dispositions. Learning dispositions are important traits, attitudes, habits, and feelings we encourage, but usually cannot teach directly, such as curiosity, confidence, and resourcefulness. Learners acquire this through experiences and encouragement. Keep your students in mind. When you tap your students' enthusiasm, you increase the likelihood that they will dive into deep inquiry and come away with the essential understanding. Projects with passion help connect with the social and emotional aspect of the learning experience. Explicit teaching of self-management might include providing students with tools to help manage their time or modeling how one responds to feedback to improve a written draft. Essential learning with digital tools and the web. It helps to examine technologies by way of the phases of projects. There are 6 essential learning functions. 1. Research. When students interact with experts, they apply higher order thinking. 2. Make ideas visible. Express ideas creatively. Students can capture data from their projections so they can visualize it through infographics. 3. Collaboration. When collaborating, tool and service is help to us to learn together. 4. Project management. Helps us students bring coherence to their projects with tools that support good project management. 5. Reflection and iteration. Encourage reflection and cycle improvement. 6. Supported study or enrichment using open educational resources, which helps students tap into personal learning options as they continue their learning path. Chapter 4 will guide readers to think critically about the qualities of effective projects and avoid pitfalls of those who fall short, consider a variety of sources for project inspiration, and start mapping out your project with a plan to reach key learning goals. This chapter focuses on selecting and designing projects. By the end of this chapter, you will have worked through a process to create a basic project idea that encompasses your most important learning aims. Reviewing projects. With a multitude of projects to choose from, you need to be aware that quality varies widely. By doing this, you can also practice giving critical feedback without having to critique each other's planning efforts just yet. Overcoming pitfalls. A potential pitfall is having a long activity with a short learning outcome. If the project is busy and long but reaches small learning aims, it is not worth investing your students' time or yours. A project should be right-sized for what it accomplishes. Another potential pitfall is overly scripted with many steps. The best projects have students making critical decisions about their learning path. If students end with products that all look the same, you can probably find a better approach. A few solutions to this potential problem are to compare and contrast, predict, and identify patterns or trends. Designing terrific projects. Getting started. To really engage learners, you have to set up a situation in which they want to ask questions, want to learn more, need to know something they don't already know, and believe it is really important to them and especially to the larger community to find out. A good project will instead be an extended investigation in which students design the sub-questions and the ways of trying to answer them because they believe in what they are doing. Many experts have contributed research and effective strategies to our understanding of how to design effective projects. Here are some examples. Buck Institute for Education, Understanding by Design, and bobperlman.org. The best projects share important features. A few of the qualities are loosely designed with the possibility of different learning paths, generative, causing students to construct meaning, the center on a driving question or are otherwise structured for inquiry, capture student interest through complex and compelling real-life or simulated experiences, and are realistic and reach beyond school to involve others. Where project ideas come from. Good projects are everywhere. They can come from news stories, community issues, and even students' questions and interests. Everything we have done using technology projects has led to another level of projects. As your project starts to come together, consider using technical aids to identify and manage your bountiful assets. The Science Leadership Academy consists of 3 schools with adaptable learning spaces, longer periods for deep investigations, and flexible schedules that allow students to pursue internships and dual enrollment in local universities. Chapter 5 will guide readers to appreciate the importance of both formative and summative assessments in project-based learning, consider a wide range of assessment strategies and tools at different phases of the project cycle, and map out a project timeline with key milestones to keep learning on track. Project-based learning is personalized learning. Authentic assessments in project-based learning. The way we are going to get powerful teaching and learning is not through national tests. It is through assessments, so that students are working toward much more challenging standards, and teachers are learning how to look at their students differently, how to support their learning better, and how to think differently about standards. By taking advantage of assessment opportunities throughout the project cycle, you help students learn a great deal more than if you leave assessments to the end. Assessing along the way lets you tap into the student's thinking so you can adjust the project, address misunderstandings, or guide effort in new directions. At the end of the project-based learning teachers measure the student's learning in a summative way and evaluating the quality of the project so it can be even better next time. Plan for a summative assessment. Because the first step in project design is determining what students will learn by doing the project, the next step is determining what counts as evidence that learning has occurred. Using a rubric helps because it is a scoring tool that communicates expectations around concept attainment and growth in skills and processes. When building your own rubric, it is important to include the categories of knowledge, skills, and processes or dispositions. Additional project assignments and performance tasks can include blending the old with the new. For example, take a classic book and have students illustrate one of the scenes in a comic book style. Another way is to create something new and ask them to apply what they've learned. Or you can simply ask the students what they have learned. Plan for formative assessment. Formative assessments enables you to guide their efforts toward the learning goals you establish, making necessary adjustments to help them achieve quality results. You can anticipate and plan for some opportunities to evaluate and support learning, and others will become evident as the project moves along. An example could be setting milestones. Milestones are interim assignments or check-ins that mark phases of activity. They indicate opportunities to check in and correct, redirect, or reteach at pivotal moments to shape learning. At the end, by planning to incorporate student reflection activities throughout a project, you encourage students to practice self-assessment. By doing this, students get the message that they can continue to improve and grow in understanding. Self-assessing can include brainstorms, checklists, coffee talks, concept maps, exit slips, interest inventory, portfolio, project logs, and review protocols. For teachers to give feedbacks for their students, they can use Google Docs in order for them to comment right then and there on the document. Communication is key when using online gradebooks. Online gradebooks make information more readily available, opening the door for more informed conversations about student progress among all stakeholders. That is the end of my Chapter 3, 4, 5 summary on Reinventing Project-Based Learning by Susie Boss and Jane Krause. Thank you.